Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 3 replay. Spawn on the south side as the blue British, we have Canadian. On the north side as the red Chinese, we have 3708361109. And some of you guys as well, forgot to put my live stream, there we go. No deck selected just yet, and no deck selected just yet. Red was beating up these Plague Doctors and steal their first edition journal. When it comes to Nails and map, we do have the House of Fanar, which can give you access to the Everzone, the Boyars, and to the Greek Revolution. I say this is a pretty good trade post or ally as soon as you can get it, because the Greek Revolution, it will pay for itself pretty quickly. And over here, we've got the House of Habsburg, giving you some funny looking mounted infantry and the line infantry, as well as Magyar Hussars. The reason why I call them funny looking infantry, the mounted infantry are in fact heavy range cavalry, and they dismount to become light infantry, which just makes no sense to me. Either way, no decks. Oh, we do have a deck selected now for the Chinese. It is a foreign name. We got tea exports, northern refugees, wood coin, Chuko news, standard army hit points, Quang pikemen, steppe raiders, Mongolian scourge, flamethrower, casual rickshaw, diplomatic intrigue, wood, arquebusts, Shangdo swordsman, repelling volley, keshiks, Beiying army, meteor hammers, iron cap prince's army. Familiar with this one. 12 Shangdo swordsmen, 2 flamethrowers, and mortars, intervention, old dynasty reformed, keshiks, flying crows, and fire dragon manual. For the British, we got the land deck, which includes villagers, town militia, Greenwich time, wood coin, longbowmen, musketeers, Scots guards, team grenadier guards, cavalry hit points, advanced arsenal, wood coin, longbowmen, yeomen, musketeer, coldstream guard, hussars, cavalry combat, falconets, fort, rockets, factory, and factory. China can go for a different handful of armies. Go for a cheap army. Blue, or nope, red did claim that one. This 45 wood. So maybe the factories could go for heavy cannons or rockets in this case. But the Chinese has a lot of options they can to go for, and plus they are forced to get mixed armies, which generally you don't want the Quang pikemen. Chukanos is generally the item you want to get. Additionally, in my opinion, steppe riders are okay, but they're not a perfect unit in all situations. Either way, both the Shaolin Master and the Shaolin Monk both go down a bit foolishly there. British player has not progressed to age 1 just yet. We do now. The porcelain tower being researched by the Chinese player has 1 shipment available. Not going for the northern refugees just yet. And now starting to migrate over to get wood. So it looks like the British player is going to be eyeing for a bit of mana boom at the moment. Does put more villagers on food, but too many under wood. Porcelain tower is now almost built. He's rapidly building it. He's really forcing out. We've got a monastery here as well. He's eyeing for some sort of mercenary build. You got the French as an ally. Villagers now being retasked onto various food. And now he's bringing in the steppe riders and the chisel coin. No, I was half thinking that he's going to go for steppe riders and the Mongolian scourge. After all, Mongolian scourge gives your steppe riders bonus damage versus villagers, right? Let's see. Steppe riders adds -1 siege attack bonus against villagers. Yeah, so many bonuses, hard for me to read. Pick out which one. Actuality, I don't see. I can see near the bottom where steppe riders get bonus damage against villagers or reduce bonus damage against villagers, but with their siege attack, but I don't actually see anything with the hand attack. Oh, no, it's on the third from the top, so the separated bonuses are mixed. And that could potentially get him plus 100% damage versus villagers. So effectively giving them the same DPS against Hussars. We do now have a barracks here as well as an outpost wagon. Step Riders actually have good siege damage for a 1 population cavalry unit. Actually pretty good siege damage for 1 population unit in general. Better than Musketeers, not as good as Pikemen. Does find some villagers here. Does get a good hit. Trim coin not being put on in. We've got the outpost here as well as the barracks. None of the city towers are researched. Guys, take time to siege down the train post. It will go down really quickly. Pretty easy math here. 25,000 health or 2,500 health versus 25 siege damage. So it looks like it will go down in approximately 100 torches. And now we do have the end of relations. Who wants to be allies with the French? Porcelain Tower does offer some. Right now, set the coin. Getting a 2.5 coin per second. A bank has what? Roughly that same amount, right? I forget the exact numbers. It's like 2.75. Ugh, damn this headache. Can't remember all. Either way, this is a good coin income. He does have enough coin to age up. Needs more food. It's got some sort of fast castle here. He could go for diplomatic intrigue. That's not half bad. It make his next relations cheaper as well. So it's effectively 375. He has no ally at the moment. Yeah, I think diplomatic intrigue right now wouldn't be half bad. He can now age up. And it's going for the Summer Palace for the Flying Crows, or the Confucian Academy for the Flying Birdies. Got some houses under siege now. British player is no longer doing a mana boom, going for Scots Guards. That's not usually a card you see first, or in this case, 5th in total. Musketeers moving around. Musketeers would do quite well versus the Step Riders, having a gun and a bayonet. Additionally, they take half or standard 15 damage from the multipliers. Pretty sure this is just stacked together. More Musketeers from the field. The British player is going for his Musketeers. And the Chinese player is lacking anything. I'm not sure which ally would be best for support then. Does find some more villagers here. Very nice. The British player has 29 villagers, 16 of which are idle versus 23 in which 2 are idle.
Ready.
The Musketeers push forward. Do got a round of arquebusiers from the deployment of the Confucian Academy. Does get 8 of them, which will provide a good amount of firepower against the Musketeers. Offering ×2 damage, 20 range, 15 damage. But he is way outnumbered. The Musketeers could win this in this fight. Going for more arquebusiers, not bad. He has another shipment available. Right now, the Chinese people have a defensive army, not an offensive army. The arquebusiers need to keep their distance. British players now playing some Hussars to counter the arquebusiers. Very good. They, of course, been on somewhat equal footing versus the Step Riders. Yeah, the Hussars will be better. Hussars have a 320 health, 30 damage, and 2 population, so I think they are slightly better. Plus, I don't think they have melee armor rather than range armor. Does have a good number of arquebusiers now on the field.
Ready.
Hope they have range resist. Mortars now being shipped on in. 7 mortars is actually a decent amount of mortars. I believe the Chinese mortars is also anti artillery, if I remember correctly. You don't really see the Chinese mortars all too often. You now got some territorial armies, which get some access to more arquebuses, as well as a handful of Chengdu swordsmen. Chengdu swordsmen being a halberdier variant, good against those hussars. We got a pretty good army here, and mortars need to be deployed on the field for me to remember their stats. If I'm not correct as well, they're bad against infantry. And even worse so against cavalry. So much so, I don't think they even get access to an anti-cavalry debuff. Yep, they are anti-artillery as well. 5 damage, massive anti-building and other structure multipliers. So these are basically anti-structure as well as anti-artillery. The British Empire is not aged up, so don't worry about the anti-artillery part. Taking time to deal with these marauding musketeers. And his Shaolin Master is still here, so... Oh yeah, that's not one picking up treasure, that's one for claiming the city tower, which does offer the same DPS as our outpost. That's always been deployed on out. Got now the Chengdu swordsman now engaging. Territorial arm or the additional arquebus gains some good damage on the musketeers. Arquebus need to fall back. Swordsman, I think, are the mix. Hard to tell with all the smoke in the region. Hussars now engaged as well. We got a handful of the meteor hammers now deployed in the field, which are a heavier heavy cav. More of a proper heavy cav. And a good number of the hand mortars are going down. And looks like the Chinese player is starting to get overwhelmed by the British army. Even putting some musketeers in melee mode. Musketeers had a damage of 14. Chengdu swordsmen have damage of what, 19? So they not too terribly bad versus Chengdu swordsmen in melee. Not great either. Got some red coats not being deployed in the field. And there's a fresh flying crow. He is not paying attention to take that out.
Yes.
Villagers need to get inside the town center now. We do now have the sentries. They armed with sticks, sharpened sticks. But for the flying crow there's the musketeers. Need one for intervention, so he has a good number of musketeers in the field. Now who's the real redcoats? These guys are in red. These guys are in blue. The real musketeers the real redcoats have arrived. Now starting to advance, he does take out the village there. Chinese player has plenty of population. He has a massive amount of resource in reserve. He has not been deploying much from the barracks, has he? He may be just eyeing going straight for industrial age at the current rate. The amount of musketeers he's fighting against. This is all massive wave there. He could go for the Iron Cap Prince's Army. The 2 flamethrowers would be handy, and the 12 swordsmen would give him a pretty good anti-cavalry force as well. I think this is the card he should eye. He's currently bringing some forbidden armies, which give him some meteor hammers and iron flails. Like I said, meteor hammers are more of a proper heavy cav, like hussars. While the iron flails are a weird... Oh yeah, the meteor hammers also have 4 range, so they actually do hit farther. And the iron flails are an AoE heavy cav. Chinese heavy cavalry, good against archers. That's something I read before I saw the skirmishing artillery part. I was like, wrong game.
Yes.
I'm going crazy. This damn headache is really distracting. 1 shipment available for the Chinese player. We do now the advanced arsenal. The British player is not aged up yet. Blue is ping there for some odd reason. The city tower is captured by the red player, which will give him a bit of experience trickle. Blue does claim the city tower there. The flying crow is still alive. The meteor hammer is now engaged. He may want to put his the redcoats into melee mode to save the Flying Crow. Flying Crow does go down. Chained or Arquebus improperly target the task there, but on the melee range of the Musketeers when they should be at range. Redcoats getting completely surrounded by the Hussars.
Yes.
And Red's army will be cleaned on up.
Commandment.
I guess he should have gone for some of the old Han armies to get out some pikemen and Juko news. More Musketeers being shipped on in, as well as some Hussars. Now the Bayang army, giving some Keshiks and Step Riders. Both will be... Step Riders not so much. Keshiks will help them counter the Hussars. Keshiks are a dirt chief cavalry archer. They do have good bonus multiplier against heavy cav at ×3. And doing some great work there. It does spot all the villagers, clean up all the local fauna. Another shipment available there, going for repelling volley. Chuko News Arquebus do extra damage to light cavalry, shock infantry, heavy infantry. It becomes a bit more of a counter unit. One Hussar does escape out of there. Got more Hussars and Musketeers being put on the field. I still think the old Han armies what he should be going for. He's going for territorial armies now. Another Flying Crow now pulled on the field. There's a territorial army here. Trinket swords can be useful. There's just simply too many Musketeers for him to deal with. Swordsman down. Red is advancing. Village now under fire. Flying Crow fires. Gets a good hit there. Gets a volley there. Red's plant more units. More Hussars on the double queue for the British player. He's just not eyeing his Ace 3. He has a good amount of villagers on coin. And not enough villagers on food, looks like. British players at 54 villagers. The Chinese players at 38. Step Riders getting some free hits there, but it gets annihilated by the Musketeers. Keshiks need to be micro to hit those Hussars. Everything else just needs to fire away. Chenko Swordsman advancing staggered formation. Or cover formation, I forget which one's which. Flying Crow now seeing fire from the Hussars. He's good hitter on the Musketeers. It looks like the Chinese player has held the line. Musketeers being pursued, bringing out a shipment of Keshiks. Now I got a shipment of longbows, which are not going to be too particularly great. It's not funny against too much heavy infantry, but they should be more effective against the Keshiks. I guess as Chengdo Swordsman and Keshiks are their counter units they counter. Barracks now under fire. More Musketeers being pulled them out. Let's squeeze out some more. Missed out with some extra deployment. Flying Crow now raining on in. It's still alive, does do double damage with structure, so it has good anti-structure attack. Hussars pretty way forward. Good hit there from the Flying Crow into the Musketeers. Flying Crow getting more shots on in, almost down. And the Hussar does finish it off there. More Musketeers popped on out. Arquebus are getting overran. Got some chain those swordsmen hit those hussars, but overall, Red's gonna lose his army. Got another round of Keshiks here to engage the hussars. And Red's army does largely get cleaned on up. More longbones being pulled up by the British player. Now he's bringing a round of arsonists. Repentant arsonist, mercenary siege damage, good against infantry, throws firebombs, destroys buildings. So I think it's advanced Is it outlaw or mercenary? It is a mercenary grenade trooper. Don't really know how fit they are on top of my head, but they should be decent against the musketeers. He may need to get out some more anti-cavalry. He has a good number of Keshiks. The more territorial armies would be decent. I'm still also impartial to the old Han army at the moment. He also bring in some more redcoats as well. So let's take a look at these arsonists. They do have 28 damage, 3 siege, 12 range. Looks like pretty standard grenade, but their siege damage is 140, so they're actually more of a siege unit rather than an anti-infantry unit. That is quite a bit. They move at a speed of 4, so not too fast, but if possible, he can perhaps flank around and annihilate structures. They don't do any less damage for his villagers, which I think grenadiers do. More territorial arms from one field. He's going for Keshik or the Mongolian Scourge, which improves his Keshiks against bonus damage against heavy cav. Also 100%, so they go from 300% to 400%. These guys definitely will be pretty overpriced for fighting against infantry, though I suppose the only 250 grenadier troops are around 200, right? So maybe not too overpriced. Not entirely sold onto them, but right now he has plenty of coin. Well, not so much anymore. But this could give him the edge he needs to engage his force. Is this explosion radius bigger than a regular grenade? I honestly can't remember. Right, smacking down south. Villagers have cleaned up all that coin. That house will not last all too long. And now we do. Oh, looks like the British player has aged up from veteran musketeers and veteran hussars and a shipment of falconets. We've now got a deployment of stables here. Those structures can quickly go down to those arsonists. There's at least 9 on the field, maybe 10. 9 are on the field. And that's going to take down his torch this all down. Keshik's actually has good engagement opportunity right there. Longbow and farm away, getting some hits on those giant those swordsmen. Keshik's push way forward. Got some. Oh, he looks like he aged up with the Hoden and Shone tomahawks, which does give him some. It's more of a revolutionary variant. Blue's not falling back. Does get his falconet support on the field. Has his veteran research as well. Barracks does go down there, going for more hussars. Falconet does get a good volley there. Arsonists do have 50 range armor, like other grenade troops. Keshik's charging way forward to those falconets. We do have some meteor flares here, or meteor hammers. Hussars now advance along the flank. Got more of these forces here. Arquebusiers engaging the musketeers. Hoden and Shone's pushing way forward. And the rocket does go down. Push forward the arsonists to engage these musketeers. Falconets firing away, has not been able to counter them. Red close the engine in melee mode. Another flying crow deploying field, and the red's armor does get annihilated.
Yes.
Red has been consistently losing army after army after army. Blue's not on deploy out fort. Red is now bringing the Iron Cap Prince's army, as well as some more territorial armies. We still have the British allies. Does not gone for diplomatic intrigue. He has researched most of his cards in Age 3 as well. And his Age 4 cards are honestly nothing much to write home about. Maybe the Fire Dragon manual could be useful. Give him extra damage or attack speed on his flying crows and flamethrowers. South Sea Castle, one word, South Sea. Castle now being deployed on the field. Flying crows, I believe they can't really outrange castle or the forts all too much. There's the fort wagon. And now we do have some more Mongolian armies against some Keshiks and Steppe Riders. Got this city tower now being obtained by red, which will give him experience trickle. There we go. British player does not have his church reforms. Got a good number of hussars now employed in the field as well. More Keshiks and more musketeers now being employed in the field. And the fort does go on up as well. Right now, blue has quite a bit of infrastructure right there. And some more of the mana is going down. Right now, red is eyeing for more villagers. He may be eyeing to age up. Not sure what he should age up for or with. Confucian Academy is receiving massive fire. More falconets being put on field, as well as more musketeers. And some longbowmen. Oh, no more longbowmen. He can now age up. Maybe the Summer Palace would be best. He's going for the White Pagoda, which should give him access to some advanced monks, right? Flying Crow here will be picked off for free. Bit of a loss there. Bit of a foolish loss. The White Pagoda is being pulled over here. This will give him immediately 10 disciples. Increase the stats of Shallow Master and disciples and trade limit of the disciples. So he's need to get his Shallow Master redeployed to get out more disciples. Red's losing more structures. We do now have the British Expedition Force, which will get 1 falconet and 9 redcoats. As with some hand mortars for our anti-artillery effort. There's his disciples. Disciples are classified as shock, so musketeers will do bonus damage against them in melee. Disciples, I'm not sure where they're going. They do 80% less damage versus villagers. All those disciples getting ripped apart. That falconet does go down there. And right now, Red is getting split apart here based on poor unit control. Taking out some of those falconets. Disciples get some good damage there onto those falconets. Flamethrower now firing away. Red does have a good defensive line there. There's a round of Keshiks. chainsaw swordsman is starting to get ripped apart. Flamethrowers pushing forward to see massive hits there from the falconets. Falconets do apparently one-shot them. Goes high for more hussars. Now the irregulars now pulled in the field, but most of Red's infrastructure is going on down. And Red does cast in GG, missing the G with the H letter. And that is the end of the replay. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.